Well, in the today's class, we are going to discuss on the topic called the Bootstrap programming. So the Bootstrap mainly is a framework which is used to design the web pages. Okay, we already have some basic knowledge on the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. For working with the Bootstrap, the knowledge on the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript is very important. uh, I hope you all are very familiar or you have some basic knowledge on the HTML, CSS as well as with the JavaScript. If you don't have any kind of knowledge, you please ask me personally because if you want to learn the Bootstrap, those basic knowledge is very important. Because the lateral students, I don't know how many of you are you know about the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. And the rest of the students, the regular students, I know because I taught of those topics in the first semester. I only handled that subject. So I hope that you have that basic knowledge on the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. So before we getting start with the Bootstrap, let's have some knowledge, some basic things on some basic knowledge or some basic concepts, what you should know before learning the Bootstrap. That is very important. So we'll start with the Bootstrap with the some basic introduction classes. Okay, I will show you the slides. I will try to explain with those things in the slides. I hope you are seeing my screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So the Bootstrap, before going to the Bootstrap, as I told, the Bootstrap is the framework which is used to work or to build the web pages. Okay, I will explain with the Bootstrap. Pawan, is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Let me start with the concepts called what is Bootstrap and advantages of Bootstrap. Let's review. Because first of all, we learned HTML and CSS, JavaScript to create the web pages. Then we come across with a new topic called the Bootstrap. The question may arise: why the Bootstrap? What is the use of Bootstrap? So those are the things we are coming across with the concept while we start learning about the Bootstrap. When we have the HTML, what is the necessity of the Bootstrap? Those are the things, those are the questions will arise in your mind. So I will try to answer those questions. What is Bootstrap basically and why it is required? And advantages of Bootstrap while working with the HTML, CSS as well as with the JavaScript. So let's see what is a Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is a free and open source that is most popular in HTML, CSS, and with the JavaScript. Okay. It is a framework, as I told you. It is a framework developed by the Twitter for creating the responsive pages. Well, before coming with the Bootstrap, we already worked and we already familiar with the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. What the Twitter has come up with a new inventions called the Bootstrap. Why the Bootstrap is required is the Bootstrap will perform some responsiveness in the web applications. So when we say a responsiveness, the question may arise: what is that responsiveness, or why the responsiveness is the required? Okay, so what is this responsiveness? Why we call this as a responsive pages? What do you mean by the responsive pages? How to understand this? What do you mean by a responsive page? To know this, as the name itself indicates, the responsive in the sense it respond to the based on the devices where we open our applications. Responsiveness ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು behave ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we call that as responsive. For example, with the different people, we behave in the different way. For example, while playing with the childrens, we behave like a small child. While playing with the elder boys, we behave with the elder boys, and with the elder people, we to be mature like how we are going to behave with the elder people. Based on that, ನಾವು ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆ ಹೇಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ತರ we can build a system how the pages are going to be open with the based on the different pages. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇಜ್ ನ ವ್ಯೂ ಹೇಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that we call it as a responsiveness. For example, if you are opening a web application in your desktop or a laptop application, the width of the screen is very large, and based on that the options are going to be displayed. If you open the same application in your mobile application, the device is very small, the screen is very small. Within the screen itself we need to see the responsiveness. Okay, so to understand this, we can see with some example. I will go back and I will show you the example. For example, look at the screen. Look at this. Here you are going to see the hello world with the desktop application view. This we call it as the desktop application view. Here we can see the login ID, password, and all those things for those text tabs and all those things we are see on the top of the taskbar. But this is the view in the desktop application or in the laptop application. If the application is going to be very small, if the device is going to be very small, look at the options how we are going to change. See, the width of the screen I'm going to vary for the different sizes. Based on the different sizes, the options are going to be vary. You can observe now the email and password and the sign in buttons are on the top of the taskbars, top of the web page, and you can see the 3 columns side by side, right? And this what we call as the desktop view or the laptop view. If I reduce the size, see, if I reduce the size, this we call it as the tablet view. Tablet, the size you can see in the device with the tablet size, where we can observe the things. The headings are visible in the one below the other. One below the other, we are going to see the different headings. Before it was like side by side for the desktop view or in the laptop view. When I reduce the size for the tablet size or the iPad size, the visibility of the columns are are in the way of one another, one below the other. This is how it is going to be changed. Still, if I reduce the size of my device, assume that my device is now I am opening this in my mobile. The mobile screen will be like this, a smaller size. So when you see the smaller size, the visibility of the page got changed. See, the login ID and the password, the credential tab is not visible now. The whole thing visible is like in the one below the other, and the font style and the visibility is in the vertical way, because you can see the mobile screens like this. So where we can see the login credentials now, we can see here the menu button. A menu button created once the visibility of the size reduced to the mobile size, then automatically a menu button created. See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದಂಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ವೆಬ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್. See, when I view this in the full screen, you will see the full screen with the email, password, everything as a static. But when you reduce this size to the mobile size, automatically those details are going to be changed. A menu button will be created. ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದಾಗಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ ಆ ಡಿವೈಸ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ವೆಬ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ, ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ the responsiveness. See, here the pages are responsive based on the devices. What devices you are going to use, based on those devices, the view or the visibility of the web pages are going to be adjust for that particular device size. For a iPad or the tablets, it is having a different view. For the desktop or the largest the applications, it is having a different view. For mobile applications, it is having a different view. This we call it as a responsiveness. Okay, ಈ ತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ವೆಬ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, we call those changes as the responsiveness. It is responding, it is going to respond based on the the type of devices which we are going to use to access the application. This we call it as the Bootstrap. This is what we call as a responsiveness. That responsiveness was given by the Bootstrap applications. This is what basically the Twitter has invented newly as the responsive pages. Twitter, for the first time, Twitter invented this and released to the market for using the Bootstrap in creating the responsive web applications. That is what we call it as a responsive web applications. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಒಂದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿವ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಪೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೋ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಗೆ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಪೂರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದ್ರಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಟು ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ they introduce the responsive pages based on what devices you are going to use for accessing the applications. Based on that, web pages are going to be changes according to the size of the web devices what we are going to use. So idanna navenanta karita hogtivi, we call this as the responsive web applications. This was created by the first time developed by the Twitter, and nowadays this Bootstrap has become more and more popular than with the HTML, CSS along with the JavaScript. This is basically what the responsive pages. And what else we see with the Bootstrap is it includes the HTML and CSS based design templates for common user interface components like buttons, drop downs, typographies, tabs, forms. ಇದೆಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಈಗ HTML, CSS ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಾವೇನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನೇನು ಬಟನ್ಸ್, ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ನಾವು Bootstrap ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. The visibility of those buttons, the visibility of those drop downs, tables, forms, and more, ಇದೆಲ್ಲದು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, they give the more effective way. ತುಂಬಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಟ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರಿಟಿ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿತ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ HTML and CSS. ಬರೀ HTML, CSS ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣದೇ ಇರೋದು Bootstrap ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ಬೇಕು, ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರು. For the same button, it shows the different templates. In the HTML, we have only the basic button. In the Bootstrap, for that basic button, it provides so many templates. The same button functionality with the different templates they release. So this is what we can see in the Bootstrap. And as well as Bootstrap framework is based on the open standards. It is based on the open standards. HTML, CSS and the JavaScript. ಏನ್ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಓಪನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. This means Bootstrap can be used with the server side technology and any platform. In the sense ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸರ್ವರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಬೋತ್ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ we can use the Bootstrap. Bootstrap will support both on the either if you are using on the client side or on the server side. For the both it is going to be compatible. You can use on the either side of the server or the client side. You can use it in any kind of web applications built with the server side technologies like PHP, ASP.NET or Java. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸರ್ವರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ತರ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ Bootstrap ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, this is what basically the Bootstrap is. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Bootstrap ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು HTML, CSS, JavaScript ಕಲಿತಿದ್ವೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಎನ್ಹಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿವ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, we use the Bootstrap. Okay, to make a more interactive and more responsiveness, to create the more responsiveness applications, we use this Bootstrap. Okay, ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಏನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿವ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ Bootstrap ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್. And it has having a lot many templates we can use for any controls that we are going to see, either the buttons, drop downs, whatever. ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮೇಲೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. And it can be used for server side applications. It is not only stick on for the the client side. We can use that in the server side applications, the applications which are built using either by the PHP or the ASP.NET or the Java. ಈ ತರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ವೆಬ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you can use the Bootstrap for that. Okay, this is what basically the Bootstrap is. Now let's see what is the advantages of Bootstrap. So very first advantage is it supports the responsive design. I hope you understood what is the responsive design. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನಾನು ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಏನ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಸೈಜ್ ನ ನೀವು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ವ್ಯೂ ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವೇಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, we call it as responsive design. That plays a very very important role in nowadays, because we come across with a variety of devices to access the internet. For the variety of devices, the pages should fit for those devices. So atara bandaga enagta hogutte, the responsiveness of the page should be very plays very important role in the current situations. So the Bootstrap plays a very major role in creating the responsive pages. That is the first advantage what we are going to see as the Bootstrap. And it saves a lot of development time. ಇದೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, why how we can say it saves a lot of development time is because when we use this, a lot of themes or lot of templates are ready available for any buttons or anything if you are going to create. For those things, if you are going to make use of those codes, the development of a web application will be very fast, and it saves a lot of time of the developers, because all the codes are readily available in the templates. So by using those templates, you can easily create the lot many controls over the web pages. So ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ರೆಡಿ ಕೋಡ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಕೋಡ್ ನಮಗೆ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಡೆವಲಪರ್ ಸೇವ್ಸ್ ದ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಕರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ it saves a lot of development time, and it provides the consistency. So how it provides the consistency is, once if you create a web pages, the same web pages are going to be used, and ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ತರ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಪೇಜಸ್ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಟೈಮು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. I suggest the students, those who are annotating, ಏನೇನೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, don't do that on the screen. Don't annotate. Okay, this what we call as responsiveness. ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಚೆಕ್ ಅಂತ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, this is what a responsiveness, same responsiveness the pages will do, we call that as responsive design. Okay, and don't do any kind of annotations on the screen. ಏನು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, because these classes are for you, not for us, right? And next is, that is what I was talking about, the consistency. The consistency is when we do the any coding, if you apply it for any applications, the consistency of the code remain if you are going with a lot of changes in the applications. ನೀವು ಏನೇ applications changes ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಆ consistency ನೀವು ಏನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಕೋಡ್, ಆ ಕೋಡಿನ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. It is not going to change over the period of the time. So that is what it maintain its consistency. Next is customizable. So what is customizable? Once if you take a Bootstrap, it provides different templates for, as I told, it provides different templates for all kind of controls what we are going to see in the web pages. ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್. So that we call it as a customizable. The Bootstrap is a very customizable. For that customizable thing, I will show you how it is going to be very customizable. I will share the screen. Look at here. Look at this screen. Here I will show you the customizable things in the. If you want to see the downloading of the Bootstrap, just get into the getbootstrap.com docs and getting started over there. Illi you can see in the last tab as a customizable. Look at this customize. ಈ customize ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, if you scroll down, in the scroll down you can see the various components, common CSS components, JavaScript components, and various other components you can see, jQuery plugins. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕು, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಟನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಎನಿ ಟೈಪೋಗ್ರಫಿ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ಚೆಕ್ ದಟ್. ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಅನ್ಚೆಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಆ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್. ನನಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿವ್ ಯುಟಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಬೇಡ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ಚೆಕ್ ದಟ್. ಬೇಕು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ದಟ್. ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಲೇಬಲ್ಸ್, ಪೇಜಸ್, ಪೇಜಿನೇಷನ್, ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ಜಸ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಡಿಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ದ ವೆಬ್ ಪೇಜಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಪೇಜಸ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಜಾವಾಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಟೂಲ್ ಟಿಪ್ ಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಟೂಲ್ ಟಿಪ್ ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ಚೆಕ್ ದಟ್. ಪಾಪ್ ಓವರ್ ಬೇಡ, ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ಚೆಕ್ ದಟ್. So these are the components which we are going to use, and it will allow us to customize. ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಡ ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗ್ದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಫೈನಲಿ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್. ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕಲರ್ಸ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಕಲರ್ ಬೇಕು, ಕಲರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ದೆನ್ you can customize all the things. It provides you for the customizable. And ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಬಟನ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಬಟನ್ ಫಾಂಟ್ ವೇಟ್, default border, primary border, all these things it provides for you for the customization. ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಆ ತರ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಫೈನಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಇಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಲ್ ಡೌನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವು, ಆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಗ್ ಬೇಕೋ ನೀವು ಆ ತರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. Once all the modifications is done, then you can say compile and download. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸೇಷನ್, ಫೈನಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಬೂಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Once this is download, all the customized Bootstrap is available for your usage. This is how we can say Bootstrap is a customizable. ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಬಟನ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇದೇ ತರ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕಲರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬೇಕು, ಈ ಕಲರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸೇಷನ್. ನನಗೆ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇದೇ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇದೇ ತರ ವ್ಯೂ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಟ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. So this is how we call the Bootstrap is a customizable. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಡ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್. ಎಲ್ಲದು ಇರ್ಲಿ, ನನಗೆ ನಾನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಯು ದ ಆಲ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲದು ಬೇಡ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಎಲ್ಲದು ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ Bootstrap is a customizable. Okay, is this clear? The point, what you mean by the Bootstrap is a customizable. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? All of you ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
And it supports, if you have any problem with the coding, it is having a support system in the Bootstrap. You can just contact, you can just mail if any problem if you are going to find the Bootstrap, the team is ready to solve the problems. So these are the things we can see as the advantages of Bootstrap. Okay, Bootstrap ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರದ್ದು ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಏನು, ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, very first point is it is responsive and it saves a lot of development time, and it is a very consistency and customizable. The Bootstrap is a customizable, as I showed. The variety of the controls can be customized as your requirements. Then it provides the support. So these are the things what we are going to see as the advantages of Bootstrap. Is this clear? So first Bootstrap ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ Bootstrap ನ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಏನು. So Bootstrap basically ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, Bootstrap is basically the framework which help us to create the responsive web pages. ನಾವು responsive web pages create ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ Bootstrap ನ supports the variety of components with different templates, and it also helps us to create the applications on the server side using the different programming languages like PHP, Java, or .NET. Any language if you choose, it help us to create the responsive pages in a variety of programming languages. So ಇದು Bootstrap ಅಂದ್ರೆ, and ಅದರ advantage ಬಂದು responsiveness. It saves a lot of the developer times and consistency, customizable, as well as it provides the support. So these are the basic things you should know before you learn the Bootstrap. Now let's we see how to get this Bootstrap. So Bootstrap na ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು sir? Basically, what is a Bootstrap is, it is a framework. So ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? Nothing, just you use this link getbootstrap.com. It is the official the link of the Bootstrap. Here you can see the link to download the Bootstrap. As I showed in the previous screen, I will show you there itself. It is provided to get the Bootstrap download. See, this is the same website where we can download. So this is the screen. It is going to be open if you click on that link, and here you can download the Bootstrap. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ, ಈ Bootstrap ಅನ್ನ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀನೋ, ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು the downloaded file like this. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದರ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. If you click on that file, I will show you. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. Once you download, it will download a zip file like this. ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು zip file create ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ತರ ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು extract ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it will open a Bootstrap folder like this. Inside the Bootstrap folder, you will see the 3 subfolders like CSS, fonts, and the JS. So style sheets, CSS in ಒಂದು folder ಇರುತ್ತೆ, fonts in ಒಂದು folder ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and JavaScript in 3 subfolders ನೀವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀರಿ Bootstrap ಒಳಗಡೆ. If you open the CSS again, you will see the different files inside the Bootstrap. The very first file is bootstrap.css. The style sheet ಏನಿದೆ, style sheet na ನೀವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. It is a CSS file, and along with that we can see the Bootstrap CSS, the map file. So map file ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, why this map file is required is, once if you have the code, I will try to open and show you what is there in the code. Yes, look at here. Are you able to see the screen of Bootstrap? ನಾನು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
Bootstrap notepad ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ. Yes, now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is what the Bootstrap, once you open ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, you can see the variety of styles that is going to be defined in the file Bootstrap CSS. All these are CSS tags. ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಇದು CSS tags ಗಳಾಗಿ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. It is in the readable format CSS. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ರೀಡಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ CSS ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. So you can just read and you can go through and you can understand all the CSS codes, what they are already written for us. So e codes na ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ we see that as a Bootstrap file. If you see that in the another file, we have that mapping file. Mapping file andre, if any code is mismatched from one line to the another line, this linker map is the file which will help us to link every lines of code. Nimige space inda ಅಥವಾ visibility inda ಏನಾದ್ರು change ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, those lines of code are going to be mapped by using the linker map file. So while you use the Bootstrap file, it automatically uses the linker map file. Okay, so these are the files you can see. The same thing you can see with the Bootstrap minified in the sense, the same codes are going to be created without using any spaces. Continuous ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೋಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. I will open and I will show you that minified code. See, I will open that in the notepad and I will show you. I will share the screen. Now, look at the difference. In the previous, the notepad, what I showed is the CSS file where it was in the visible format. Now, if you see this code, it is not able to understand easily because it is all the lines, spaces, everything is removed. So it looks like this. This is minified. This is the intention of the minified file is to reduce the downloading and to transfer the bootstrap files. We can be a bootstrap file ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿತ್ತು sizes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ download ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂದ್ರೆ at that moment we can use minified files. There is no difference between bootstrap and bootstrap minified. Bootstrap minified is all the extra spaces and white spaces are removed and it is not in the visible format. Whereas in the bootstrap, it is in the purely visible format. Readability is there, and we can easily understand the code. Aste difference. Mattenu illa. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಓದಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. We can just use this code and we can make our web pages. Whereas the previous one, we can see that in the readability format. So these things we can see as the bootstrap. Okay, bootstrap CSS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. These are the CSS codes which provided by the bootstrap. If you ಇದು ಎರಡನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is how we are going to understand how the bootstrap the minified and how the bootstrap CSS looks differ in the two different files. If any of the lines are going to be missed if you are while they are developing the web pages, then this mapping file is going to be help you for linking those pages. Mapping ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ linker address map. It provides the mapping for bootstrap as well as for mapping for the CSS. So ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದು ಇದು bootstrap and bootstrap min. Okay. Then at the same time we have the bootstrap themes. We have a different themes in the bootstrap. Again we have the bootstrap theme with a minified version. Bootstrap theme mapped, bootstrap theme minified version and its mapped file. So ಇಷ್ಟು ಫೈಲ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we see that in the CSS. Okay, all these files you can see in the CSS. That is those are the files we can observe in the CSS folder. If you come to the fonts, in the fonts it supports the different types of fonts and different types of the font style and the font families. It is going to support by the bootstrap. Other ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ fonts in the folder ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. And different JavaScript it is having. So we have the JavaScript files, JS files, and it is a minified JS version. And NPM, it also supports the NPM. NPM is nothing but it is going to support for the Node.js. Right now, if you don't have any knowledge on the Node.js, don't worry. In the next classes or in the next academic year, we are going to learn on the Node.js. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ವೆಬ್ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ Node.js ಕಲಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ರೈಟ್ ನೌ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ Node.js ಅಂಡ್ Bootstrap ಈಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ Node.js ರೈಟ್ ನೌ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಫೈಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರೂ Node.js ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ Node.js ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ರೀಸನ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ದ NPM files here. So these are the things we can see in the Bootstrap. Once the Bootstrap na download ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ Bootstrap ಒಳಗಡೆ you can see CSS, fonts as well as JS. Okay, these things we see with the Bootstrap. Now I will come back to the slide. Okay, this is how we can see or how to get the Bootstrap. So ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು Bootstrap ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ first thing is download the Bootstrap and see what are the files you received in the downloaded folders, and then how to use those files in your Bootstrap. Okay. Next, I will show you how to create a simple web page. Before I will show the code and later I will run the page. Look at here. This is a simple web page as what I have created to display just hello Bootstrap. ಇದೊಂದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. hello Bootstrap ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದನ್ನೇ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. But I have written this code by using the Bootstrap. ಸೊ ಬೂಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಪ್ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಹಿಯರ್ the additional thing what you can see is these files. ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಂತದ್ದು, you know what are head tags, tag ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, and you are familiar with the body tag. So in the body tag I have written in the h1, that is head 1, that there we can see the hello bootstrap. Okay, for the time being I will remove this. I will show you what is that.